Hi everyone! I have received several requests to make a new video about my full collection of art supplies which I use. I don't think that I haven't made similar video in 2 years, so my previous video is quite old already, and I hope that such video won't be very boring for you. I don't own anything special, all my art supplies you can regularly see, but still maybe some of my thoughts about my pencils can be interesting for you to hear. So, in this first part I will be talking about my pencils. And of course, my item number one, my favorite brand to use is Prismacolors. I have purchased my first set of Prismacolors in January of 2017 and I am still using it. It was a set of 132 because price difference between 132 and 150 was drastic and I wasn't sure if I need to pay such a huge price, almost twice price, for this additional 18 pencils. Later I have discovered that many of these pencils are really very beautiful, very helpful, but I will talk about it a little bit later. So here you have a reminding of my pencils. As I said, I still use this set. Probably during this Black Friday I will need to purchase a new set. This time I plan to purchase 150 of course, so I just hope that price will be nice. And you can see that a lot of my pencils are quite short already, but some of them are still in not so bad state, and you can clearly see which colors I use more often and which I use much more frequently. I was very lucky that two times two very kind ladies sent me a replacement for my most favorite colors. So some of the pencils which you can see here, like this black, gray or powder blue, they are replacements because mine were like this. That's my original powder blue. Also, I replaced both of my mineral orange colors. Of course, I have replaced deco yellow and cream. All others here are from the original set, so you can see that yellows are quite popular colors. And I also have already the second artichoke and ginger root, also very short. They are also very popular in my colorings. I still use these plastic trays. For me they are convenient, or maybe I simply got used to them. Each tray is dedicated to one color, so for me it's very easy to find pencils, and I think that even if I got the full set of 150, I don't plan to use any pencil holders for Prismacolors. Other brands like Polychromoses I do keep in pencil cases, but it's just already my habit to use my Prismacolors from their original plastic trays and to organize them according to colors. You can see that a lot of my colors already are very short, and here the most popular probably is Great Lavender. This was from the original set. This is a replacement, but already it's also starting to be less than half of original size. I was very lucky and I have never had any problems with breakage, with any wooden splitting, so I didn't experience all those complaints which many other people express about quality of Prismacolors. I use regular sharpeners, nothing special, nothing fancy. It's a sharpener by German brand Kamm, and I do love it because quality of the steel is quite good. I use a very simple sharpener. I also have other varieties of them. And I discovered for myself that the key point is to change your sharpeners frequently, and new sharpener with nice fresh blade, it would never damage your pencils, even such soft pencils like Prismacolors. So I am very happy with my calm sharpeners. Sometimes I also use this sharpener by Faber-Castell. It's Eraser Plus sharpener, and it's also not bad. I prefer to sharpen with a long tip, but with Prismacolors I have to sharpen them quite frequently, so as I said, the key is to keep your sharpener nice and fresh. So that was the state of my Prismacolors. The most frequently used are of course green colors, so they are in the worst state. A lot of them are already very short, like sap green, like pastel, pale sage. Pastel colors were first to be finished. When I color, I organize my pencils for current project in trays. You can see my various trays. Some of them I purchased like this one, and here I keep my white, black from various brands, so the most frequently used pencils. And after lockdown started, when I didn't want to visit a local store for more trays, I discovered that I can use these plastic trays from my favorite cookies. So I eat cookies and then I use this plastic for pencils for my current project. Here I have the name tags for the pencils, and I know that this is my trays for the pictures on which I am currently working. Very convenient, and I save plastic for the second life. I don't throw it away. So I'm still very happy to work with Prismacolors. They are still my favorite brand. I hope to get a replacement for this set during this Black Friday, but I was pleasantly surprised how durable are these pencils. I wasn't sure in the very beginning when I tested them, when I discovered how soft are them, that I will be able to use this set for such a long time. Here I have my small set of replacement. As I said, two very kind ladies sent them for me, and now I have at least some of my favorite colors and also very helpful black colors, so I am safe for some time. I keep all my pencil swatches in one plastic sheet. I don't know how, plastic case. Anyway, here I have my Inktense, my Color Softs, my Faber-Castell Polychromoses, my Arteza, and Neocolors. For Prismacolors I have a separate sheet here. My next favorite brand is of course Polychromoses, and for Polychromoses I have a separate case. It's not full because some of them I put away for my current project, but I do own almost complete set of Polychromoses apart from gray colors. I hadn't purchased all of gray colors. I decided that I am not a huge fan of grays from Polychromoses. For me, cool grays are decidedly not cool enough, especially comparing to cold grays from Prismacolors set, so I stick with this several pencils. I'm also not a huge fan of white pencils, I don't use it very frequently, but many other pencils are my favorites. It's easier with Faber-Castell polychromases because even if they are not cheap here, at least they are available open stock, and if I need a replacement I can easily go to my local art store and to purchase color. It's a huge difference with Prismacolors, and I still don't know where to purchase individual Prismacolors for a reasonable price. I know that it's possible to order individual pencils from Digblik, but still price isn't very very convincing for me, so maybe I will think about either purchasing new set or some replacement. Here I also have several of Faber-Castell Art Grip aquarelle colors. I got this very small set and I was quite pleased with quality of these watercolor pencils, but then Faber-Castell stopped to sell them, so I wasn't able to purchase a bigger set. So I have them, but I don't use them frequently. Watercolor pencils aren't my favorite medium, and when I also have such a small set, I think that I use them only a couple of times, but they are good. I love how pigmented they are, how they dissolve with water, so my only problem is that my set is very small. I have 4 pastel pencils and a couple of replacements here. Let's talk about my frequently used brand number 3, and it will be Arteza. I think that I have purchased Arteza set a year ago already. I was lucky to get a very reasonable price. I have purchased this set for $50. And I think that for such set it wasn't bad. Definitely I wouldn't pay more for these pencils. I can't say that I'm totally in love with these pencils. They have some pros and cons. Definitely pro is their bright colors. I do love many of their colors, especially variety of their greens. A very nice brown colors, a lot of interesting colors like this muted earth red, some of interesting blue and violet purple colors. They definitely lack pastel colors, and of course their biggest problem is that they don't layer as nicely as Prismacolors. So I'm happy with their brightness. I'm relatively happy how they cover paper. They don't crumble much. They behave nicely even on thin paper. They are very helpful when you need to color small details because they are slightly harder comparing to Prismacolors. I frequently use them if I need to cover big areas and when I don't waste to my Prismacolors or my Faber-Castell polychromases. They also have some problems. For example, for some of my most frequently used pencils, the name of the color was deleted. It's not very visible now. And as I said, I am not very happy how they layer. But anyway, as I very often color with just 1 or 2 layers, I started to use them more frequently recently because, as I said, I do love many of their colors. I still keep them in this metal tray simply because I don't own any other pencil cases. I am too lazy to order another one. I totally hate this plastic case. It's not very convenient, and I always have problems with searching these pencils because, like with these greens, they are very close in colors. I would call these pencils my working horse. When I use them, I don't afraid to waste precious pencils. I know that it's not possible to purchase a replacement, so probably some of my favorite colors will be quite short. But as I said, when it will be finished, I don't think that I want to purchase another set. Maybe next time I want to try castle art pencils. I heard a lot of good things and some of not very good things about them, so I'm curious to test them by myself. I'm glad that I have Arteza, but probably it will be my one and only set of them. Next, here I have my Inktense, and we have a long love story with Inktense. I have started from a smaller set of 36 colors, but then due to the videos of Peter Hewitt, I discovered that the most interesting and the most beautiful colors like dusky purple, dark purple, some of the violets, some of the more natural looking greens, they weren't included in the smaller set, so I started to purchase pencils individually. For now, I don't own only cadmium orange, and I decided that I don't need Chinese ink, natural grey, that it's enough for me. I almost never use this outliner which was included in the set. I have already mentioned in many of my videos that I consider Inktense as one of the most economical pencils. If you follow my channel, you probably know how many pictures, especially from Lizzie Mary Cullen's book, I have finished using my Inktense pencils, and here I have all my original pencils. The only new addition is this one of the blue colors which I purchased just a month ago, and all other pencils are from my original set, so they are one of my first pencils more than 4 years ago, and they still are in a very good state. Sorry for the mess. My only disappointment was Payne's grey color, which totally doesn't work. I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't produce anything comparing to real Payne's grey. It works like this, very pale, nothing beautiful, so maybe it has some faults. Maybe I need to purchase another one and to test it. Here I also have very strange pencils. They are called tinted charcoal. I have purchased them even before I started to color, when I was dreaming about doing some sketches, and I simply was interested in these pencils. They are water soluble, and on the paper they look like black with small addition of colors, but they create a huge mess like charcoal on the paper, so they are not very suitable for coloring. They are too dark and they create too much mess. I think that I have something else here. I have some of my Kohinoor polycolor pencils. These pencils I have purchased individually. A little bit later I will be talking about Kohinoor Mondeluz, which are water soluble. These pencils are not water soluble, they are a mix of oil based and wax based, at least what I know about them. I don't have the full set. I have these pencils which I purchased for coloring fair skin, and I also own a small set of landscape pencils. I will show them later. I didn't know where to put them, so I simply store them here. I am very happy with my Inktense. I can recommend them to each and everyone. They are easy to use, and the most interesting thing is that recently I started to use them more. I am very satisfied with my experience coloring pictures in Maria Trolle books with these pencils in Flower Year. So I hope that I will extend amount of books where I can use them, because they are really very interesting to work with and they are very nice. Now let's talk about other Derwent products which I own. My first set of decent color pencils was this set of Derwent color softs, because Derwent is easily available in our local art stores. When I purchased these pencils more than 4 years ago, we didn't have even Faber-Castell polychromuses or any other brands, so Derwents and Kohinoor were the only choice available. I have purchased this set, and in the very beginning I was totally in love, because I was able to compare these pencils only to the childish pencil sets which I used in my childhood, and of course it was a huge difference. I always hated to color with colored pencils, because in my childhood they were pale, without brightness in colors, they were hard to use for the child hand. So of course I prefer to use felt tip pens or even paints, and I hated colored pencils. So when I purchased this first set of decent pencils, I was in love. Then, after several months of coloring, I discovered that these pencils don't layer and blend as nicely as I was able to see on YouTube videos, so I started to dream about Prismacolors. And after I got set of Prismacolors, I discovered this difference, that I prefer pencils which blend better comparing to this one. I also consider color softs a very sensible to the quality of the paper. I have only several books where paper is suitable for color softs. Probably I need to use them more, because still I love many things about them. They have a lot of nice colors, they are very highly pigmented, I love quality of the wood, so probably my main problem is that I have not so many books where I can use them, and also because I do videos and not many people want to follow color alongs where I used color softs, but still I need to think about this set more and to use it more frequently. They are in pretty decent state still, only some of pencils are shorter. One of the reasons why I was disappointed in this set is a lack of natural green colors. I was totally unable to do realistic leaves. I was so surprised when I just got this set. But some of the colors, especially browns, ochre, terracotta range, they are quite good. Next, I discovered this set of pencils. It was my first experience with oil-based pencils, and I'm still surprised how creamy, how soft are these pencils, and in the same time that it's possible to draw and to color even small details using them. Of course they have limited colors and they can't be used for each and every page, but I love everything about them. Their quality, I love many of these colors, and recently I have discovered that they are also very helpful in coloring fair skin. So I do love my set of Derwent drawings, and I highly recommend to purchase at least some of them. They are available open stock, so at least colors like sienna and several of terracotta colors, they are really very helpful and very nice to have. Also, I have this set of graphite pencils, a very interesting item. I don't think that there is something similar from other brands. They can be used in three ways. Let me show you the color chart for them. If you use them as regular pencils, they are quite dark, very muted colors because they have charcoal. They can be activated with water similar to Inktense, and colors started to look much more interesting. And I think that they work very nice together with Inktense, where you definitely have lack of more muted, more complicated colors like this. And also you can take pigment directly with the pencil core using wet brush, and in such case you will get a very bright, a very clean color. You can use it, you can see it here. So it's three ways of using them. Again, I don't use them very frequently, and I don't know why. Maybe it's a nice reminder to use them. I think that the best experience I had with them was in the book by Emily Lindholm Oberg, where I did my Rainy Lady. I will try to leave you a link to the video where I use them. And I also did a spread in Flower Year, where I use these colors, mostly Sizzle and some of them port colors, so they also have not a bad range of greens which can be used together with Inktense. It's interesting set, but as I said, it's not very versatile. You can use it on limited amount of pictures. Well, let's move to the next brand because I have noticed that I started to bubble and I don't want to waste your time. Here I have my pencils from Kohinoor. Here I have my water-soluble Mondeluz pencils, and it was also one of my first sets, which I purchased more than 4 years ago. I started from a set of 36 colors, and when I discovered how bright they are, of course I started to purchase other colors individually. I store them just like this. It's convenient for me to find necessary color. I can't say that I use them frequently. They are bright, they are soft, but as all watercolor pencils, they don't blend much, they don't layer very much, so I also use them in a limited amount of books. Most of all, I love to use them on top of watercolor underpaint to work on details, or to combine them with Inktense where I in need of some pastel colors. You can see example of my work with them recently in Sweet Chopin book. And here I have set of polycolor pencils which are not water soluble. Color palettes on Mondeluzes and on polycolors are almost exactly the same. They have several exceptions, like additional colors in portrait set of polycolors. Here I have a landscape set. I do love them, but again I don't use them frequently. I don't know why. Maybe again I constantly afraid that it won't be convenient for my viewers to follow my videos if I use them, but sometimes I use them if I need some natural looking greens. I would say that Kohinoor pencils are famous for their natural colors. They have nice variety of greens, nice variety of blues, nice variety of browns, and that's why I still quite frequently use these pencils, especially their dark browns, a lot of their warm greens. They are my favorites. And I also love this color. I have it both in watercolor and in this polycolors, and this one is very helpful when you need to create an impression of something gently highlighted by the sun. It's close to cream from polychromos, so when I have time I grab polychromos, or sometimes I can grab this one, so it's also a very nice color. Maybe again after this video I will find way to use these pencils more frequently because they are not bad. Maybe a little bit harder comparing to what I normally prefer, but as I said, they have nice color range. And finally, let's move to the sets, which I call my supplementary sets or additional colors. I don't use them frequently also, probably I have used them only for a couple of pictures each. So here I have sets from Spectrum Noir. I decided to test them, so I purchased one set of Aqua Blend, which are water soluble, and I purchased this set because of the selection of greens. You know that I'm always in search of natural greens, and I also love blue and turquoise colors, so that's why I selected this one. And I also have purchased this set of non-water soluble regular wax-based pencils, and of course I have selected this set because of the lilac, violet, purple colors, which I always love. I have double feelings about these pencils. They have nice colors. This one is for water soluble, and you can see that some of colors are really nice. And these are colors from the second set. But I have discovered that pencils in this set we have a lot of similar colors. Probably you can see it between these browns. It's not bad, and browns, they are always quite helpful, but still I was a little bit disappointed. I would say that I am happy with this cologne, but not so happy with this cologne. And also I have discovered that in one set they have pencils of various quality. Some of these pencils were dissolved with water perfectly, without visible pencil strokes on the paper, but some of them you can still see pencil strokes after I applied water, and it was a little bit disappointing. Probably this set is slightly better comparing to this one. I found this one a little bit too hard for me. In order to layer and blend them you need to press harder, which I normally do, so my hands doesn't like these pencils. But still they have interesting colors, and again probably I will need to find a page where I will be able to use this nice color palette and to try to use them more, because they are not bad. They are far from perfect, but also they are not bad, and for some of the pictures they can be helpful. So that's why I call them my supplementary pencil sets, so just for a couple of pictures. And with this I did more pictures. I frequently use them in Mermaids in Paradise because they have nice variety of blue and greens. And again probably I will need to use them more, because at least green and blue aren't bad. And what else I have? I have a couple of Black Widow pencils. First I decided to purchase this set of dark tones for the skin. I wasn't impressed by the second set for the fair skin tone. For me they are far from natural looking, too much pink. But this one I loved. They are not bad. Not all of them, but I have already colored couple of pages in book by Lenka Filoninka, especially where I use these pencils for the darker skin tone, and I think that it's helpful set. I do love how they layer on the paper. Probably they layer comparing to color soft, so you can layer probably 2 or 3 layers. On some papers they behave better, on some papers they behave not so well, but I do love this selection of colors, and recently I have discovered that this set of dark colors is also very helpful for coloring fur and animals. I used it in Australian animals and I was quite happy how they behave. To draw thin hair, texture of the fur, these relatively hard pencils are very helpful, and that's probably where I will try to use them more. They have good colors for the fur, so maybe it's a way to use them more frequently. And I also selected this set of 24 pencils, mostly because I simply wanted to test them. They look quite attractive and they have several nice colors. Again, I tried to find a set where I will be able to find at least a couple of natural looking greens. Some of the colors are really nice and I used several of these colors again for the skin tones. I love their variety of dark reds. They are average, nothing special, but sometimes if you are in need of something like this, especially for covering big areas, you can use these pencils and not to waste your more precious pencils. Well, I think that it's an end of part 1 of my review of my art supplies. I hope that I wasn't babbling too much and that I didn't make too many mistakes. I'm sorry again for it. I hope that I wasn't very boring. I know that I don't own anything special and still my favorite pencil brand is Prismacolors, so nothing special here too. But maybe it was interesting to hear what I think about each and every set of my pencils. I'm very grateful to everyone who sent me some of these pencils, and I hope that this video will remind me about some of the sets which I don't use frequently, and maybe I will find a way to use them better, because all of them are quite nice. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the second part where I will be talking about my paints.